This should be the final piece in building my fastest Sur-Ron ever. This is the fastest Sur-Ron I've ever built. 81 volt Chai batteries, the biggest one they make. EBMX X9000 controllers, the most powerful one they sell. And the unreleased EBMX Apex 80 motor. I'm one of the first people that gets to test this. It's allegedly 80 horsepower. That's as much as a Stark Varg Alpha. 65 kilowatts, 12,000 RPM, 105 Newton meters of torque. This is the peak of a Sur-Ron build in terms of power. I cannot be riding Ultra Beast without hitting up the man himself. Go! Ultra Rider. Let's go. He was way faster than me last time. Hopefully I can keep up.
I'm gonna still got you.
And we got 5.0 Matt with his new helmet on his Ultra V. I'm starting in mode 1, which is 20 kilowatts. Already an insane amount of power, but basically stock power. Why is it still moving? It runs on its own. I'm going uphill right now. Oh, 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 oh my God. What the f is this? It keeps throttling on its own. I gotta pull over. It keeps throttling when I let off. Yeah, I had to turn it off just now. That's so sketchy. Let's pull under here. It's so dangerous.
Help.
That was the sketchiest thing ever, dude. Let me just call. So I just did the first pull, and when I let off the throttle, it kind of stays on the throttle. Is there anything I can change in the settings for that?
Stays on the throttle?
Yeah, I had to like turn the bike off.
What the
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird as. That should definitely not happen. That would either be the throttle cow, like the throttle is dying and staying in position. Make sure you're in race when you're changing that field weakening too, right?
Okay, I'm turning. Oh, you're right. So the field weakening is 90 in race. Let me turn it down.
So what was your low rating and your high ratings?
0.84 and 4.02.
Yeah, so that sounds correct to me. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna keep riding it. Let's see, full throttle, I'm gonna let off. All right, we're chilling. That was scary, but I can just hit this, boom, and then it's dead if that happens again. Okay, I'm up to 50 kilowatts.
50 kilowatts.
Let's race on the green. It's about to turn. I'm actually so scared. I'm shaking a little bit. Oh my God. Oh, it cut. All right, let's try again. It cut out after the first couple seconds.
Yeah, mine, if I'm running mode 5, mine actually does that. I keep it in mode 4.
Oh, okay. I might have to ease in on
I'm surprised though. It usually happens because under voltage with the battery, but it's an upgraded battery, so.
You know, when you upgrade everything, you can't tell at this point, like, what's the problem or what's the weak point.
If I had to say, it's probably your battery though.
It could be. Although this is supposed to be the biggest, baddest, meanest battery. Here we go. Ready? It cuts out once you start moving. Thanks for doing that, then you can't hear my brakes squeaking. Here, I'm gonna go down a mode. Hey, one hand. We'll race here. I'm in 35 kilowatts now. Okay, I beat Ultra Rider. I think it cut out again though at the very end. Oh, that's too much power to wheelie. I'm not gonna get it up to the balance point. Only in mode 1.
Yeah.
What do you wheelie in? What power?
I actually wheelie into max power.
It has like a big portion of the throttle is very chill, and then it really kicks in. I don't like that for the wheelies. I can't. Oh, come on, dude. Mode 2. I'm in 35 kilowatts, and it doesn't snap. You have to give it full throttle to pop up. It has a weird tune. Let's go, Matt. Come on. He adopted the sibling to the 2 cats that I have. And by the way, the cats are doing amazing. They're growing up so fast. I was able to gender them. It's a brother and sister. They absolutely love each other. They are always cuddling and playing with each other. I'm so glad I kept them together. Every time I get home, they run up to the door to say hi to me. It's really nice because I live alone, so it can be lonely. I like mode 1. I still have to use my phone to change the power modes. In theory, I should be able to do it right here, but it doesn't work. It's ironic, I just turned it down to 20 kilowatts, which is actually less than the stock power. It's like, what's the point of putting $6,000 of upgrades on this just to put it back to stock power? Yeah, this is much more wheeliable than with the original motor. But I need to tune it. It doesn't feel great. I keep regretting. I feel like I should have just kept it stock. I'm texting him. I'm like, dude, I need to make this snappier. It's still like, here. That was full throttle. That was full throttle. This thing just feels heavy. It feels laggy. And I put $6 grand into it. Hey, I am in race mode. And I get that power, but only when I'm like full throttle. Like, I feel like I have nothing on the low end.
That seems weird because it's like snappy as dude. Like, it's snappier than the stock motor.
Maybe like when you're full throttle, but not anywhere below full throttle.
No, it's pretty snappy, dude. Like, it would feel equally snappy as the stock motor was.
Gotcha.
It should be this easy, man. You were right about you getting the challenge. How much fuel weakening you got in there now?
0.
Alright, give me some of that.
Turn up the field weakening.
Try that, man, and see how that goes.
Okay, thank you. Turn up my field weakening here while I balance. Middle of the intersection type tuning right here on the go. Field. I guess I can't be rolling. Oh my god, there's a bus right there. Go up to mode 2 here. 35 kilowatts. Feels a little better. We got a crowd here, an audience. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, this thing's a beast. Nah, it's throttling. It's throttling on its own. This is insane. This is insane. Oh my god, no. Ah. It's been 5 days, yeah, since the crash, and I'm still concussed. So I have a little list here of what I want to talk about. That was a long fall. I had already accepted halfway through the fall that I was going down, like when I was on top of the bars. And I keep thinking back, like if I didn't accept that I was going down, could I have saved it? It just all happened so quick. I landed almost entirely on my forehead right here, and on my face, and on my right side. It's the hardest I've ever hit my head, and it was right in the part of my helmet. It's an old helmet where there's not that much padding left, so it actually broke the skin even through the helmet on my forehead. I can't post a photo of it, but it looks something like this on my forehead. I absolutely destroyed both of my knees, and both the impact and the road rash on the knees was pretty devastating. But I'm able to walk and they're not broken. Decent bit taken out of my left hand, and just the entire right side of me, all of it, road rashed and purple, bruised. I've got road rash from the knee, the hip, all on my back. It was probably the dirtiest, nastiest, worst place to shred your skin off is Skid Row, where that happened. So I've just been paranoid about being infected ever since. And I was sitting there on the sidewalk, all I could smell was piss and shit. And I because I hit my head, it made me want to throw up so bad. I drove Ultra Rider home, barely. I was concussed. And I got it straight into the shower when I got home. And it was the most painful shower I've ever taken in my life, by far. Excruciating pain on fresh road rash to put soap and water on it. And I was yelling in the shower, like the most I've ever yelled in pain in my life. But you're in a shower, so like that noise is bouncing back at you. And I'm concussed, so I'm screaming at the top of my lungs in the shower, and like the noise is giving me even worse of a headache. I was just almost passed out in the shower from that. I've broken bones, I've had surgeries. The road rash is something else. And it's frustrating because if I wasn't filming a video, the first time it goes throttled and I almost went through that red light. I mean, if I wasn't filming a video, I would have gotten right off the bike, loaded it up in the truck, and never ridden it again. But because I'm filming the video, I'm tuning it, I'm getting back on the bike. And then the second time it's happening, again, if I wasn't filming, I would have kept my hands on the bars. I would have turned the bike off. But because I'm making a video, I'm taking my hands off the bars. I'm showing, hey, this thing's throttling on its own. So it's just frustrating that because I was filming this video is the reason that this happened. This would not have happened if I wasn't filming. And this just is like a common thing for me. I feel like I'm always the guinea pig. You know, it just comes with reviewing new stuff, testing new stuff. You're kind of like a test rat. And usually the worst that happens is like it's a new bike, you know, the brakes are new and I'll loop it. That happens all the time. And it really reminds me that you can have all the money, you can have all the bikes, you can have everything in the world and still have a ton of issues and worries. But when your health becomes an issue, nothing else matters. They say a healthy man has 100 problems and a sick man has one. As like ridiculously obvious as that sounds, when you're put in a position like I've been in the last 5 days, it's all you can think about is, man, I had it so good and I didn't even appreciate the health until it's taken away. Jim always says, you know, we ride today so that we can ride tomorrow. And yeah, he's spot on. With a concussion, I mean, it's an invisible injury. And the last time I got a concussion was 3 years ago on the Stomp 2.0. I crashed into that bush. And I didn't know anything about concussions. I didn't give myself any time to heal. And that concussion lasted over 3 weeks. It was brutal. So this time when I knew I was concussed, even worse than the last time, I said, okay, I'm going to do it right. And I'm going to just lock myself in a dark room for the last 5 days. This is the most time I've taken off in my entire career. The last 5 days. I have never taken 5 days in a row off for the last 6 years. You know, posting one video every Saturday. It takes a week to make a video. So, you know, even the idea of taking 1 day off has not been an option for me. So being forced to take 5 days off like this has been like weirdly stressful and kind of disappointing that, you know, the one time I actually give myself a break, I'm like dying. And it doesn't look like it. Like I'm walking, I didn't break any bones. But the concussion, like I said, it's an invisible injury. And it's scary because you don't feel like yourself. You feel tired. I'll actually have my list here because I can't even tell you everything. You're confused. The smallest things are exhausting. Like even just thinking about something, you're just exhausted. I've had this headache. I'm sensitive to light, and I've totally lost my appetite. I've probably had 2,000 calories since the crash. Like anytime I put food in my mouth, I want to throw up. And it's not a good feeling when you don't feel like yourself. Like you are your brain, and when your brain's healing from an injury, it's like, it's scary. Just terrified to think what my head and brain and face would have looked like if I didn't have the full face helmet on. I fell directly on my face. I'm finally retiring my original helmet. I've filmed over 400 videos with this one helmet. It's the only helmet I've ever used. I've already hit my head in it countless times, and you're supposed to replace it after hitting your head once. So I'm gonna retire this like very sentimental helmet to me. It really feels like part of me. It is part of me. I might put it into a glass display case and hold on to it, but I'm wearing the new setup right now. Hopefully it doesn't look too different. I feel like the collarbone would have been the first to break. You should see how bruised I am on this side. Usually that ends up in a broken collarbone, but man, these vegan bones, they lasted this one. Been vegan like 10 years, so I'm sure if I broke my bone or a couple bones, people would be, oh, you need some milk. But did you know there's actually 50% more calcium in almond milk than in cow milk? But I just want to say thank you to the countless comments and messages and TikToks and posts about wishing me the best. I'm actually going to start crying. It really means a lot because it's scary and lonely recovering from this, and I really appreciate that. I just need some time to recover from the concussion, the road rashes, whatever. Just be safe out there. It's really dangerous. And I feel like a bad influence. Like, I've been promoting this stuff, and it's so dangerous, and people die all the time doing it, and I've seen that, and it's so easy to think, oh, that wouldn't happen to me. So I just want you to take this as an opportunity to learn from this alongside me. Yeah. This helmet's giving me a headache. I gotta take it off.